speaking of bad ideas that are getting attention, the failed 4 times indicted former President Donald Trump has given a bonkers, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, panicked and hunched over interview on Fox News ahead of his 4th arrest expected Thursday or Friday of this week. Donald Trump was recently interviewed by his own former economic advisor, Larry Kudlow. And listen to some of the things that were discussed. Donald Trump still obsessed with water pressure. He just can't stop talking about it.
You know what you do? You wash your hands 4 times longer. You take a shower. Like, you have beautiful hair, like this, beautiful. And Larry, I want to get out of there. I want to take a shower and wash my hair. And you have these things where the water just drips out. It could hardly come out. It's brutal.
It's a brutal problem that we're facing. By the way, a problem that has nothing to do with Joe Biden, even to the extent that it is real. It has nothing to do with Joe Biden. Trump obsessed with water pressure and flushing toilets, and it's just wild. And Larry Kudlow is just feeding into all of it. Here is Larry Kudlow praising Trump, basically just sucking up to Trump the entire interview.
Yeah, a couple of quick thoughts.
Yeah, I say we're going to make America greater than ever.
Growth is part of it, but there are other things that you've discussed. And can I just add one thing, sir? I don't think people know this. Your campaign, you and your advisors in the campaign, you're putting out all these great videos. You're putting out white papers on issues left and right, and millions of people are reading this stuff. I mean, you're running an issues-oriented.
Do you know anyone who's read a so-called Trump white paper? Does anybody know a single person?
Campaign. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you about this stuff today. So we can pull up from this decline.
Yeah, we can. In fact, the nice part is we're dealing in person. Normally I just put it up on a screen and I put it out, but we're doing it in person, which is even nicer and better because you're asking great questions. We can make America great. We have some problems. I think you're going to have 15 million people in our country that you didn't have a couple of years ago, not 4 million or 5 million. I think it's a much bigger number. Many of these people are from prisons and they're from mental institutions and they're terrorists, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out. We can't live with them. And so that is something that is a big job. That's a big job. That's a very important job. But
this is what you call a brown-nosing sycophant interview. Larry Kudlow trying to just set Trump up to tell the same lies over and over again. Look at this one. Kudlow was an economic advisor to Trump, and he allows Trump to lie about unemployment and jobs numbers. Of course he does.
I want to play a sound. Here's Biden attacking you.
When I took office, the pandemic was raging and our economy was reeling. Am I taking blame for inflation? No.
Why not?
Because it was already there when I got here, man. Remember what the economy was like when I got here? Jobs were hemorrhaging. Inflation was rising. We weren't manufacturing a damn thing here.
What do you make of that? Untruths? I mean, I could call it another word, but after all.
It's a disgrace. We had the greatest economy in history. We then got hit by the pandemic, and then all those jobs were coming back, and we had them back. All of those jobs that we created at a level that nobody's ever seen before, they were all coming back. They were pouring back.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, that runs counter to some of the facts. One of those facts is that the unemployment rate was over 6% when Trump left office, and it has been under 4% for a long time now. In fact, the unemployment rate has been under 4% longer right now than at any point in American history since unemployment was measured. Job creation stronger under Biden than under Trump. Now, if you want to be honest about the numbers, but say, it's not a really clear picture because my last couple of years were clouded by the pandemic, or my last year plus was clouded by the pandemic. You can make that case, but Trump doesn't do that. He just straight up lies about the numbers, then telling those same lies, although sometimes it's more of a confusion than it is a lie, about Ukraine and Russia, and Kudlow just accepts all of it.
We're going to do this. We're not going to do business. We'll go cold turkey if we have to. We're not going to do business. And they always relented. They always relented.
But again, you do negotiate from a position of strength, but you are, again, it's the art of the deal. We're now talking taxes and tariffs.
Eventually, you don't have that strength because the country becomes so weak that you no longer. We have,
yes.
right? We have this country that is just big power, but it's not. It's losing everything. We're losing our dignity, but we're losing that big market. It has more power when you have it rolling like we had it rolling. So it loses that power. But the tariffs are great, not only for the dollar and all of those things that we know about that you and I like and understand better than most, but it's also good for keeping us out of wars. It's good. We can do a lot of power with that. There's a lot of power. You know, Putin would have never gone into Ukraine, but that was just on my relationship with him, my personality over his.
And Trump is sort of right in the sense that he's correctly pointing out, with me as president, Putin would never have had to go into Ukraine. That's the sad reality of that statement.
Never gone. I used to speak to him. It was the apple of his eye, but I said, don't ever do it. And there was, tough stuff there, but he would have never done it.
I was the apple of his eye. I don't know if Trump really knows what that means when he said it. And then here's just another moment, Larry Kudlow just licking Trump's boots, to quote our friend Aaron Rupar.
I just refer to it as the art of the deal. And I remember when you appointed me to the NEC and we talked about all this, and you said to me, I'm a better negotiator than you are. And you were quite right. Absolutely.
Did I say that? I don't think I'm not sure that I said that.
You did. And I took it.
Don't worry. It was an insanely arrogant and pompous thing to say, but it was correct, sir. Thank you so much. This is what Trump is going to counter-program the upcoming debates with. Trump won't be participating in the debates. Wednesday, he'll be doing a counter-programming interview, and I believe it will be much like this. Will this be enough to keep him in the lead in the Republican primary? If you give me an even money bet, I believe that it will. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.